All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is Thursday night, and we are back yet again to talk about essential oils. And to get going here, I'll tell you a quick story while we're waiting for people to log in. So, first, I'm feeling a little bit not scattered, but a little bit rushed tonight. We went out for dinner and literally just walked in the door about 5 minutes ago. And so I don't have my oils sitting here or anything. I've got the oils that we need for tonight and my notes, and I'm ready. And so, really fun story that I'll share with you guys toward the end of our session tonight, just about the oil business and some of how God provides through these oils. So, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So, as you join, as always, if you would show me a little bit of love, like the video, invite some people to come and join us, and give me a quick shout out in the comments and let me know that you're here, what your name is, and why not tonight, how you actually heard about the webinar would be fantastic. Would love to hear just who invited you or how you got exposed to this, and glad that you're here to join us. So I'll give a few seconds here as people join in, and then we'll go ahead and jump in for tonight and start talking about Copaiba. So on that note, being I just walked in, I'm going to take a quick drink while people are logging in here. Alrighty, looks like we have a few people. Perfect. So show me a little love as you come in. All right. So tonight, I'm actually really excited. Anybody on your friends list that you're connected to who has a problem with being uncomfortable, with discomfort in their life, whether it's physical discomfort or emotional discomfort, maybe spiritual discomfort, go grab them really quick. We'll wait for a few seconds before we get going here, or make sure you send this to them. And hi, Antel, glad you're back. Send this to them because tonight we're going to be talking about Copaiba, which is an incredible oil for comfort in our lives. We're going to talk about that. So just about another 5 seconds or so as people continue to log in. And let me tell you, my hat is off to all of you for coming and hanging out with me at 9 o'clock at night to learn oils. I've been going through this, and last night I got done and I'm going, oh man, am I going to be able to go a whole 14 days straight doing this every night? It's a little bit different schedule for me, but I'm loving it. I hope you are too. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and get started. So tonight we're talking about this oil here out of the kit. It's called Copaiba, and I think that's how you pronounce it properly. My wife likes to call it Copaiba. So however you pronounce it, that's the one we're talking about tonight. Now, I'm actually really excited about this oil because, I've really enjoyed a number of the different oils that we've talked about. I really like peppermint. I really like lavender for a number of different things. Last night, we talked about the frankincense and how that's kind of the Swiss Army tool of the essential oils. Well, Copaiba is another one that is kind of like a multi-tool. And so I'm really excited to explore this with you and see what it is that it can be used for. So starting, kind of back a little bit, let's talk about what's in it, what it is. So I might slaughter these names because again, I'm not a chemistry kind of person. So Copaiba, what's in it? The primary chemical constituent that's in it is called beta-caryolhyllene. I hope I pronounced that right. And I would encourage you, as I do, every night when we talk about the chemical constituents, go look this up and do some research on it. And so what I want to tell you about this beta-caryolhyllene is that it's what's called a cannabinoid. And so a cannabinoid is actually, it's a plant extract. It's a primary chemical constituent in another plant product that's only legal in a handful of states at this point. You have an idea of what I'm talking about, I'm sure. But the great thing about Copaiba and the oil is that it doesn't have some of the same side effects that this other plant product has. And so that primary chemical constituent, being the beta-caryolhyllene, that is really some of what helps provide the relief, the impact on our bodies that so many people want to go to this other plant product for. And so it's really kind of a very interesting thing. In fact, as I was looking through this this evening and earlier today, some of the research I found is that a lot of companies are putting a lot of research into how do we create this beta-caryolhyllene without having direct access to that other plant product. So where it's safer, where it doesn't impact our bodies quite as much. If you were at the weekend conference here in Michigan last weekend, you know some of what that does to the brain, this other plant product that we're talking about. And so, you know, it's really challenging some of what happens. Hi, Elizabeth, welcome. And so, you know, to be able to get some of the benefits from this beta-caryolhyllene without all the side effects is really exciting. And that's really what Copaiba, the bulk of what the chemical constituent is in Copaiba, that's what it does. That's the thing that it works on. And so let's actually, you know, kind of switch gears and talk about what does Copaiba do. I mean, I just have to show you this. Look, that's how much it does. There's a ton of stuff. And so some of what it does, it supports a healthy cardiovascular system, so making sure that your heart is circulating the blood properly and that your blood can get around properly. It supports a healthy respiratory system. It supports a healthy nervous system, which is also really, really good. It also helps supports healthy muscles and healthy bones, healthy looking skin. I know we all want that as well, and healthy digestion. So those are the systems that it really works on. It's also, it supports your body's natural response to injury and irritation. And that's actually, I love the way that that's phrased. It also is great for emotional balance. So I was feeling a little bit nervous earlier today. I've found out for myself that I feel nervous more than what I think I realized. And so I was feeling that earlier today. And so I took some Copaiba and just like what we've talked about before, I stuck it on my thumb, stuck it to the roof of my mouth for about a minute, and I could just feel myself starting to relax, which was just amazing. And so, you know, play around with it. These oils are really cool. So just make sure that you play around with it. But as they say on these infomercials, right? But that's not all. So it also helps with stiffness, with body stiffness. It's a mood lifter. Excellent, Sharon. Glad that... Perfect. It's a mood lifter, and it helps relieve stress, as I was just talking about. It also helps to relieve physical discomfort of a number of different varieties. And so it's one of those oils that if you're talking to somebody and going, you know, oh man, I'm just a little bit stiff. You know, if there's one oil I could tell you to carry on you, it would be Copaiba. Get it on them, and they're going to, within minutes, be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And they're going to want some because it's just that cool of a product. It's just does that many different things. And so, you know, when we think about what does it do and how do I use it, let's see, until I've never tried this oil. Oh yeah, you've got to try it. It should have come, if you've received your starter kit. There we go. If you received your premium starter kit within the last about year or so, that oil should be included in it. It's also definitely included in the new starter kits, which anybody, member and old, new member or existing member, we can all order these starter kits still, and it does come. The newer starter kits actually come with the Vitality version instead of the normal version. So just remember, same grade oil, different label, okay, approved by the FDA for ingestion. So when we think about how to use the Copaiba oil, you know, again, all three methods of using it is fine. So inhalation, right, or aromatically, so diffusing it in the air. It's got kind of a little bit sweeter smell, which is really kind of nice, but still a little bit woodsy, so it's kind of warm and sweet, and it's just a really nice smelling oil. So as you carry it with you, it's not as recognizable as something like peppermint, right? Like everybody smells peppermint, everybody smells lavender, and they go, oh, that's what this is, because those are really widely used in our society and in other products. Copaiba isn't quite as widely used, and so people might smell it and go, well, I've never smelled that before, but it's not an unpleasant smell. It's still, the smell is really, really good. So it's one that, you know, you can definitely carry with you. You know, again, aromatically, you can put it in your hands, you can ingest it that way, you put it on a diffuser necklace and the diffuser in your home, and your USB diffuser, whatever you have, you can definitely do it that way. Some of the research I was doing said that when you're looking to use it as a mood lifter, actually using it aromatically can be more effective than using it topically or for ingestion. And so the different applications may have stronger benefits in some ways than other applications. So just, again, play around with what works for you, with what you're dealing with what you're trying to see as a result of using this specific oil, and see what provides it for you. If you put it on topically and it doesn't provide it, try, smelling it, using it aromatically. If that doesn't do it, try ingesting it and see if that helps. So definitely don't give up on it the first time. Try it, and that goes not just for Copaiba, but all the oils, right? Try to see what method of utilization is going to really provide the result that you're looking for. Topically, you can, again, apply Copaiba directly to whatever desired area. So I mentioned before that it supports the body's natural response to injury and to irritation. And so if you are dealing with an injury or irritation and you're looking for some support there, put it directly on that. And that's going to help there. Of course, anywhere you put the oil, whether you ingest it or use it aromatically, put it on your feet, doesn't really matter. It will eventually get to where you want it to go. But some of the benefits of using some of these oils, when you put it directly on the area that you're looking for, has a little bit stronger benefit, a little bit more immediately. So, just, again, play around with it. See what works for you. From an emotions perspective, I actually did this one also. Put it on your fingertips. And again, if you were at the conference with Shannon Hudson this weekend and some other folks, you will notice I'm reusing something that somebody else did. But put it on your fingertips and then just rub it in and just hold it on your head and then just breathe for 30 seconds to a minute. And that's just a way of giving your brain a little bit of love and getting it directly onto your brain. Again, you can put it right on the roof of your mouth like I did earlier today. Those are all great ways of using it from a topical perspective. One word of caution if you're going to use this, and I've mentioned this before about some of the other oils. This one, I actually saw the specific warning for this one, so just be aware. If you put it on the same area of skin using it topically continuously, so over and over again, say you're putting it on the back of your neck or your feet over and over again, it can cause a little bit of irritation excuse me, from repeated use in the same area. And so a way to avoid that is to either A, put it on different areas, right, and see what happens, or B, mix it with a carrier oil like coconut oil, V6 oil, almond oil, something of that nature, maybe grapeseed oil. And again, when it comes to your oils, make sure you know what you're using. Get something organic, get something, like if you're going to use olive oil, get something that's cold first pressed, and just make sure you really have an idea. That way you're not inadvertently putting additional toxins into your body. Copaiba, additionally, aside from the aromatic and the topically, can be used from ingestion. Now, this one, I've not read much about using it to like flavor food, although the FDA has approved it for that. Most of how I saw people using Copaiba from an ingestion perspective is putting it in a gel cap and then swallowing it that way. Now, as we talked last night, there's a stronger benefit to sticking it under your tongue as opposed to swallowing it in a gel cap because it's not going through the digestive tract. So either one of those methods is absolutely fine. I actually tasted it earlier today because I'd never tasted Copaiba before, and I can say it really didn't have much of a flavor. So it's an interesting smell. I like it, but it's not like lemon, right? Like lemon, it kind of, when we smell it and we start tasting it, it triggers certain things for us because we're used to smelling lemons. We know kind of what lemons are supposed to smell like. This is probably unlike most things that you've ate in the past, and so it may not have much of a smell for you, but it's fine. It should be okay to get in. Also with this one, from an ingestion perspective, I do want to let you know there's also what is the ratio of drops under the tongue versus the capsule? Antel, I haven't been able to find out yet. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm working on trying to get that. I promise I will have that within the next day or two. I wasn't able today to get a hold of the person in my organization who I had heard that from to get the specific ratio. So as soon as I get it, I will both put it in the notes for this section in a comment, as well as that night I'll make sure to mention it as well. So I'll try to have that tomorrow. I'll do everything I can to do that. But in terms of the other additional caution is with Copaiba, there is also a caution around giving it to kids. And so kids and under, be very, very careful giving it for them ingesting. Again, topically, aromatically should be fine. But the injection part, just be really careful. Kids 6 and over, again, you might just want to dilute it a little bit more than what you would for yourself. That way you don't end up with any upset stomachs or anything like that. So, okay, so that is Copaiba. All right, so we're about 15 minutes in, and I feel like I've just been rambling here. So let me slow down for a minute, and I've got an awesome story to tell you. But before we get there, any questions on Copaiba or stories? How have you used it or have used it? I know Antel, you said that you've not tried this oil yet. Anybody else tried Copaiba? What have you seen it do for you or your family? I've got another screen to my left here. I'm watching myself continue to talk, so I know there's a little bit of a delay as I'm asking that question. All right. Well, if there's, oh, let's see. How does it rate against stress away and peace and calming for stress? So I've used stress away and peace and calming for stress. I also have just recently started using Copaiba. I would say for me, all three work pretty well. Again, different people react differently to different oils, so test them. With stress away, usually that one's used topically is what I've found, or aromatically. Peace and calming, same sort of thing. And so just test it. If you're feeling really nervous about something, and in the psychological world, they would call that another name that I'm not allowed to mention here. But try the Copaiba. That's what I used it for earlier today, and for me, it worked really, really well. Again, stress away and peace and calming have also worked for me in the past. So give it a try. And the great thing about these oils is, depending on how stressed you are, it may take two or three different oils who all are going to support relieving stress to finally provide some of that relief that you're looking for. So just give it a try, see what works for you. For me, they all work, fairly equally, just in a little bit different way. Great question, and tell. And Sharon, you've not tried it yet. Perfect. Well, we'll have to see what you like once once you do try it. Absolutely. Yeah, my pleasure, Antel. Perfect. Well, let me ask this question for those of you that are live with us, and if you're watching this recorded, by all means, chime in on the comment section. So, taking a break from the oil specifically, I'm just curious, how many of you on the video right now are interested in trying to generate some extra income from using Young Living oils? Just curious. Okay, perfect. Sharon, you're interested. Good. So I have a story to tell about this. That's why I'm asking the question. I know most of the people who are live. I have an idea of who most of the people are. And Elizabeth, you're thinking about it. Awesome, very good. So most of you that are watching this live, I believe, are Young Living members. And so I know that as Young Living members, you know that there's also a business side of this. So the story that I have for you. So I told you when we first started that we went for dinner tonight, and we my son came home. We were playing at the park with some friends, and we got home and we were like, and tell you remember, yep. But we got home and we were like, let's go out for dinner this evening, and we don't normally do that, and so we went out and we had dinner, and it was great, and we had a lot of fun with the kids, and we were leaving, and my wife and I, we've decided to pursue this as a business very seriously, and part of that, we are Christians. Both my wife and I are. We are definitely followers of Christ, and so we pray about everything, and so we've been praying about this business, and we've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of studying, and that kind of stuff, and we've just said, okay, God, we're dependent on you to provide for us and to give us what we need. And so as we've been really ramping up our business side our relationship with Young Living, we've been trying to figure out how do we go find people, and God, I just have to say, is absolutely amazing. And so what happened tonight, somebody was talking with us, caught us as we were on our way out, and turns out this guy is going to have open heart surgery, and my wife just started talking with him, and I just have to tell you, I have an amazing wife. And you're right, Antel, he is absolutely amazing. And my wife sometimes is a little bit more keyed into to what he's doing than I am at times. And so, we stopped and we were talking to this guy, and he was telling us about this surgery he was going to have. My wife just kept talking to him, and I had my 2-year-old in my arms, and my 8-year-old standing next to me. And they were starting to get a little bit restless, so I said, "Hey, I'll take them out to the car. You finish talking and come out when you're done." And so she kept talking, and eventually she just asked her, she said, "Man, have you ever heard of essential oils?" And they, I don't know if they had or hadn't, but they definitely became interested, and they were asking her for information about the oils and information about the business and how to get started and all of that. And so for those of us that are interested in pursuing this as a business, let me just tell you, number one, make sure that you are where you need to be. We talk a lot of times at meetings about making sure that you're growing, that you're studying. Those are all really great things, but man, make sure that your relationship with God is right. Let me just put that out there, and He will provide. He is absolutely amazing, and it takes the pressure off of us, so we don't have to be worried about how we're going to go find the next person, or how we're going to get the next sign up, or who in my downline's going to build versus who is not. You know what? He's going to take care of it, and there is so much peace and comfort in knowing that. And so I just that impacted us. We talked the entire way home tonight about it. We're really excited just because we love seeing God move in our lives. And so I appreciate you guys being here. I just wanted to share that with you. And so as always, as we wrap up, I hope that the information that you got tonight was helpful. I hope this story encouraged you a little bit. If you have any questions or you want to chat, by all means, give us a call. If you're watching this and you aren't a member and you want to get some oils on, give us a call, and we'd be happy to chat with you. Our phone number here, it's 810 810-227-5115, and our website, if you'd like to go there, is oilyourhealth.com. So absolutely, Antel, it's my pleasure to share, and as always, to share life with the people who do oils is just, it's been amazing for me over the last couple of years, and especially the last month or two. So I look forward to the next, what are we at, 11 days now, and seeing what else these oils have, and to continue getting to know the rest of you, just as we all continue to learn and see each other at classes and whatnot. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night.